Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's Tatsuka Wild.
Sriracha in the building.
Straw Hat Tie.
It's the Popcornie podcast. Anything with a little bit of everything to do with pop culture, this is where you will find it.
Happy birthday to you. Wait a minute. First of all, nobody wants to hear me. Second of all, Tyler, introduce to the man on your right-hand side over here. Who do we have?
We have
a special guest.
right here, Merc with the mic.
Yes. Merc with the mic, the one and only.
Merc with the mic. Shake the fucking Morocco for that.
And
name.
also, somehow, this man's birthday came, and I'm 36. And you see this? You see the light reflecting off of this
37.
thing? All right, this went away at 30. Okay, this man, young and 40, is rocking a great ponytail, full set of hair, Steven Seagal bun. I'm freaking jealous. Welcome back to the show, my man.
Yo, man, shake the mic for
Good hair genetics.
Hey, listen, the Merc with the mic has been an avid cast member. He's been an advocate for us building this podcast. So as much as this is our podcast, this is his podcast. It's all underneath the same umbrella as Popcornie and Red Cyclone Inc. And that's what it is. I'm happy to have my brother in the building. This has been my man for the last 10 years of my life. I can't get rid of him if I fucking wanted to.
I tried.
I think everybody at this table has tried.
No, get rid of me?
But somehow he's
still here. He's still here.
I'm a good guy.
Man's tougher than a cockroach. It's crazy.
But yo, listen, man, happy birthday, bro. You know what I mean? Like
I appreciate it.
It's an honor to have you here. It's an honor, and I hope that you feel like it's not taken for granted that you made it to the age of 40. Like 40 is not a burden. It's not.
And he doesn't look at it. What did I say to you the other day? I'm like, I thought he was like 2 years younger than us.
Yeah.
I was like, what the hell?
Said that
you know what I'm saying? So since we were having, we were talking about his birthday, I wanted to make sure he got a nice gift today. So I went out. We got a little something for him if he wants to show everybody. We were talking about the Barbie movie, actually,
which I
set off a whole thing. You started it.
Oh yeah. It was like the DX.
Oh no, it was Evolution. Evolution was walking in.
It was like a GIF. Obviously for all you young cats out there, you know what a GIF is. Like, it took me a couple years to figure it out, but it's like it was a GIF with a meme behind it. It's like the boys getting ready to go in to watch the Barbie movie,
and everybody's pumped in the group chat. I'm like, I just can't find myself saying, you know what, guys? Remember Man Day? We're gonna drink some beers and we're gonna go watch the fucking Barbie movie.
Bro,
damn I was like, I didn't think we would do it, but these guys are hyped about it.
I'm excited for it.
So for me, I end up going shopping with my wife, and she's running with this with me too. So
I love her. She's the boss.
I'm like, I hope Merc has a sense of humor. I called Tommy. I asked him, like, he has a sense of humor. He said, yeah, of course, he's friends with us.
He's got to look at me.
Yeah, so I was like, all right, yeah, point being. So I made sure I kept the Barbie theme. Yeah. Everything was pink. Everything was Barbie. I got him a pink Barbie catalog. We went out of our way to buy Ninja Turtle. That's actually supposed to be pink. I spray painted it. I bedazzled it, but now it's completely red.
You know what's great about this, and this is something I'll bring up. The last time I came to podcast with you, we was like talking about like, oh, you'll get me a turtle. And we betted something. I forgot what it was.
Yes,
and it happened to be this turtle.
No fucking way. Wasn't it exactly that turtle?
You said that.
I'm going to have to go to archives on that,
so he was like, yo, I owe you a turtle. And it was I'll take the wrath of the new movie.
Look at that.
And there you go.
And then...
But it was Straw Hat that was the one that was like, let's all tie it together because each of us are each individual turtle.
Yeah, let me show that off real there. So I spray painted it pink. It didn't turn out pink. Yeah, it actually turned out red. It blends really good, and we literally Tommy's like, throw some what do you say? Throw some sparkles. I literally took the stuff and I threw it at it, and it worked out well. So
I love it, and I got the prototype. So whoever has these, I got the first one. So that's $10,000 if you want to buy it.
That's right. So come talk to us. I'm located at 10-8 Technology Drive.
He gave it to me. Ain't going back to him.
Now he fully owns it.
I know that we're all excited for the Ninja Turtles movie.
Yes.
Straw Hat was the man that told us that we all need to get together and watch the movie.
Yes. Because what I appreciated the most with all of us getting together was like yeah, we're all into like the same nerdy stuff, different things here and there, whatever. But like the one big thing we had in common was Ninja Turtles.
Yeah, I think we
like,
became a unit.
What was even better was like, yeah, like Tommy just said before, each and every single one of us likes a different Ninja Turtle.
Yeah.
So it's not like we all like
Shake the maracas for that shit.
It was
While he
just
cracks
impressive.
open a beer, ladies and
And
gentlemen.
you know what? 100%, I was gonna bring the raft that you gave me.
Yeah, I
I always bring the
well.
I always bring the Leo pop.
I
I'll keep
forgot
it
the
at
pop.
least
I know, I forgot the
I don't
pop.
forget. It's just there's other things that I like to show.
Well, no, but think
I-
about this. He made up for it too because he got me my Michelangelo
Yeah.
gift right here, which is pretty cool. And
But I got a Raphael right here.
Got
So,
Raphael right there. Now I actually am determined.
Yeah.
So something that was supposed to be funny and as a joke, I'm actually determined to make one for each of us.
Bro, that would.
I think that'd be really,
and that
really
would
cool.
be one of a
You know,
kind
and
that
then
we don't need.
Those I
And
can't
then
wait
this
to
works
go.
out because this is Leonardo Donatello.
That's see, look at
So
it. So we
yeah,
have it over
Shouts
there.
out to our coworker Eric who bought that for him.
Yes.
Eric, that's our mutual friend. He's a good ass dude.
Oh, and you
know
bought
what I
the
mean?
socks. So either way, we still brought the units.
Yeah, you got all four
like,
turtles.
you know, so that's pretty damn
No,
good.
the funny shit is, like, you gave me a gift as a joke, and I actually found it hilarious because you actually put thought into it. There's thought into it. There was effort put in, and he almost got kicked out because he was an endless. So there's a lot of effort put into it as a joke, but I still actually really appreciate it because that also he had to buy that skateboard because that is skateboard didn't come with it.
Yeah.
But
No,
the,
no.
the best part about it for me is that he wanted to go to Time Warp, and shouts out to Time
Yeah.
Warp right there. He wanted to go to Time Warp and get an original turtle. I was like, don't you dare do that.
Yeah.
Don't you dare
It
get
was
an
like-
original Raphael
Yeah.
figure and paint that. I'm like, go get a new one, bro.
He was like talking me off the ledge. He's like, "Don't you dare! You're not jumping
The
today."
conversation gets me like, yo, does the Merc have like a sense of humor? I'm like, bro, like that's my boy. He's gonna look at this face 8 hours a day, 5 days a week. You have to have
that
a
was
sense of
nice,
humor to do that.
Yeah.
But what comes out great though is the fact that was one thing that you said, yo, I was like, I gotta get you something like that,
Yeah.
and you said, I'll say when the new turtles come out, get me Raph, and that's the 100%.
And that's exactly what I
and
just
that's
did.
exactly the Raphael new turtle.
That's what I like about our unit.
Yeah.
Like no matter what the occasion is, we always try to give and share and show our appreciation
Yeah.
to each other because it is only as good as what we make
Yeah.
it. You know what I mean? What Straw Hat provides to this is the same thing what Sriracha provides to this, which the Merc With The Mic provides to this, which I do. And like this is a unit. This is the Popcornie. This is Red Cyclone Ink. This is everything. Make sure everybody go and check out all of our podcasts that are out there, out in the world. I ain't gonna run it down. I'm gonna save that for the end because that's a whole schmeal by itself. But there is, like we were talking about, the Barbie movie that is coming out. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
so that's why I got him the magazine, because we were talking about that movie.
My brother
And
wrote this.
I wrote on, no, my wife actually wrote it. What does that sign on the turtle say on it? What did I write? The wrong ooze?
Oh.
Ooze, wrong ooze. So
Ooze, wrong
it was
ooze.
supposed to be coming from their universe, so you made a wrong turn. It's like wrong ooze.
That's
But
that's
after
kinda
them
how the
talking,
movie is, though.
what?
That's kind of how like the plot.
That's how it happened,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Yeah,
I have
so
no clue what the plot is.
Yeah.
And iterate for me for
Like the plot is, you got the whole Barbie world, and you got Margot Robbie is main Barbie, and then everyone else is just like the other characters, and like every guy is like Ken.
Yeah.
Obviously, Ryan Gosling is like the Ken they're focusing on, but like,
Have you ever seen? I'm sorry to cut you off. Have you ever seen Remember the Titans?
no.
He's the guy that couldn't stop the guy. I'm
Yeah.
sorry. He'll forever be that guy. But continue. I hate
Yeah, so,
Ryan
like-
Gosling.
So
I
like,
ban Ryan Gosling all
believe-
day.
I believe the plot is like they go and they travel through like almost like I wouldn't say like different worlds, like almost like you'll see like
I know.
them travel through like an animated world, like you'll see them go through another different type of cartoon world or a whole different like area, and then they get to the real like world, like Earth, and then like you see like how they act and their interactions between like us regular people, and then how they act in the Barbie world, and it's just like a huge collide.
Kind of like a Pleasantville kind of feel. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
everything is
it has-
structured.
It has a vibe of that. I
Yeah.
can see that.
I didn't really see the trail. I was just hating it because it's
Barbie.
Yeah. Yeah. He
And
was
it
like,
has-
"There's no way in this Earth I'm ever going to
So-
see this."
So
now
my-
I might.
So my girl is really excited.
Shouts
for the
out to
movie.
Jackie. That's my
Shouts
homegirl.
out
Right
to
there.
Jackie. So she's the one that kind of got me more like intrigued into it. But
Okay.
watching the trailer and seeing how goofy and how it's not taking itself seriously, and it's kind of just running with it
Kinda
kind
like
of
having
thing.
fun.
It's kind of what I was like. You know what? It might be a very funny movie.
Yeah.
It might have its
Maybe
mark.
like a
itself.
live action Lego kind of movie.
Think of Lego movie, but with Barbie. And I think
I
that's
The
what-
Lego
that-
movies are actually sleepers because they're actually pretty
yeah,
good.
because
Yeah.
especially the first Lego movie.
Yeah,
that shit was
they're
hilarious. And then
genius.
Will Ferrell is the same kind of character that he's in the Lego movie. He's in this movie.
Yeah.
Oh,
So-
I didn't even realize Will Ferrell was
Yeah,
actually
he's in it.
I didn't know that either.
I didn't know that
The
at
guy,
all.
the
Actually.
guy from Shang-Chi is in it.
Yeah.
From what is it? Scott?
Yeah, he's a
Scott
Ken.
Nolan.
He's a Ken, right?
Yeah, Scott.
Yeah.
Michael Cera.
They have
Michael
they
Cera.
have him in the magazine
Yeah.
doing stretches for the movie actually in that thing. Yeah.
So yeah, I think it's gonna be something that's not gonna take itself seriously. I think it's gonna have a good story, and I think it's gonna have a good plot, and I think it's gonna be a really funny movie. And I think it's gonna surprise people. I think it's gonna be like this year's Lego movie.
I don't necessarily feel like I would go and see it in the movie theaters, but I would definitely sit on my couch with a cup of whiskey and like enjoy it. You know what I mean? Like
with my Ken doll.
you know, my special commemorative Tots Goo Wop custom made Ken doll that I made for myself. You know what I mean? But
I might check it out. And it's funny because everybody online is like, it's supposed to be a kid's movie, but all the adults really want to see it. But
But
you told me
it's like
PG-13, so it really can't be a kid's movie.
But I
if
feel like it's
that.
going to be one of those generational movies where like older people go and see it because Barbie is
Like
not
Shrek?
necessarily our generation.
No.
You know what I mean? It's actually like our
Many
grandparents'
Yeah, you were saying
generation.
what? It was like the 50s or
It was like the
40s or something like that?
56 or something
It's
like
many
that was the
generations.
original one.
Yeah, oh, it was?
And
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure they're going to hint to all the iterations of it because I watched,
That would be cool,
I
actually.
watched the different wardrobes of Margot Robbie, and she had all the classic
Yeah.
stuff.
Do you
like
know
they
how
had
many
the hints
wardrobes
of
they
it.
probably have to stock up for that show? I mean, for that movie?
No,
The
you
outfits and
there's
stuff.
a lot of YouTube videos on it.
Oh, there is? Oh, really?
Yeah, you know, going to that, they actually in the entire world for a period of time while they were filming the movie, they had a color shortage of pink because the Barbie movie used so much of it.
Get out of here, really? So
Yeah,
they
so
use
like
up
the whole-
all the pink?
The whole
Wow.
entire world had like a little bit shortage.
What?
Yeah.
That's
Listen,
crazy.
everybody's going to stockpile pink crayons now because of this.
That's
But
But-
it looks like it's gonna be a fun movie.
I actually think that it's going to be one of those overly corny, over the top kind of movies, but like classy in a sense and like comedic in a sense. Like I said, like a Lego movie kind of thing.
Do you think it would be a one-shot movie, or you think they will dare to try to make it a trilogy?
From what Mattel said, they got like 36 licensed
Shit.
properties that they want to make
For the
movies
next
of.
6 years.
So
we're
they're going to
fucked.
turn this
So they
into
gotta-
like their Barbie universe? Is that what's going on
And
right
this
now?
is also the conversation we had about
Yeah,
Masters
yeah.
of the Universe because that's one of the properties they have.
And
They
you
also
would-
have like other properties under their belt.
See, now, Master of the Universe, it's, for me, the fan base, especially in the 80s and 90s, was outstanding. So I would think you could actually build like a really good franchise.
So think about this. Barbie has been a consistent seller of Mattel for over
50, 60, 70
60
years.
right,
years.
easily, yeah.
Easily.
So
Top
like
seller.
from what He-Man did for the 80s and 90s, Barbie's been doing that every 10 years.
The best part
That's
about
actually a
what
very
you
good
just
point,
said
yeah.
right there about how it has been a top seller is also integrated every single thing of pop culture, but still holds true to Barbie. There's a Batgirl Barbie. There's a Harley Quinn Barbie.
my daughter
but they
owns
are
both
not
of those,
considered
actually.
DC. They're
No.
not considered
They're Barbie.
Marvel.
Yeah.
They're considered Barbie.
Well,
So would
Barbie
you,
slash
do you
DC.
think they would like even like do their own universe, like set up like Lego movies? They do their own Avenger and Batman movies. You think they
Well,
would
the
dare to
Barbies
kind
are
of
Barbie-
do
Barbie,
that?
if you actually go into that, Barbie has a ton of kids movies.
Yeah, no, they
There's
they,
a shit
they
ton
do.
of them.
Oh, really?
Oh,
Get
yeah.
out of here.
There's
Yeah.
a shit ton
No,
of them.
they do. They
Yeah.
do. It's fucked up. It's all
Yeah.
on VHS tape right
Yeah.
now.
No,
Yeah.
Go ahead.
you're a fucking
Dude, I worked in
Go
I used
to a
work in
thrift store
Blockbuster.
right now. Go and check it out.
You what?
I worked in Blockbuster. I could tell you there was a
You
lot
Oh,
know,
so you
of
know, yeah. Wow, Barbie, let me give the maracas a shake for
Yeah.
Blockbuster.
Yo,
first of
shouts
all.
out to Blockbuster,
Oh,
and I
man.
swear to you, if Blockbuster came out with a streaming service, we would all watch that shit right now.
Not right now.
No,
I would actually want them to open
if
up like one
Blockbuster came
store.
out with a Netflix right now, I would watch that. shit.
Sadly, that was the original.
mean-
so, not going off of subject and stuff like that, but that was the original plan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when
We watched the documentary
yeah,
together.
no, but I also worked at Blockbuster
Yeah.
during the time when the streaming
And they were
service
telling you
started.
that, right?
And that was the one indication. Blockbuster had the chance to buy Netflix to buy the streaming rights.
Oh.
They had the chance to buy it, and they were like too good for themselves, and they'd be like, nah, we don't need it, and then.
No, well.
Oh wow. Dude, that's crazy. You want to talk about kicking yourself for making a decision, you know? So they could have been running everything.
Well, if you look at Netflix at the time, it was mail-in DVDs, where you were
Redbox, right? It was like kind of like a Redbox thing.
And if not, you were charged $19.
They got tied in
This
that
is
shit,
something that also that like you probably didn't know. Blockbuster had it. I think they had a better deal with that. Because they also had mail-in DVDs, but you could exchange it in the store for another DVD that's in the store.
I didn't know that.
So when you get the mail-in, you could go back to the store, get a new movie, and then just mail it in to them.
Shit.
Tyler, when you were younger, was Blockbuster around when you were younger? Do you ever have a recollection of
He probably sees his
Blockbuster?
mom's keychain.
I know he sees those old promos on like TikTok and shit like that. But have you ever actually walked in a Blockbuster?
You know what's crazy? There was a Blockbuster right up the road from my house, and I was there all the time, bro. Like I have so many movies and old DVDs and games, video games actually, that have the Blockbuster
logo?
sticker on it.
Oh, that's awesome.
Shake the maracas for the sticker.
Because let's be real, Hollywood Video tried to make its mark, but it wasn't the same.
But they failed before Blockbuster did.
No, they totally did.
They
They
failed?
didn't last as long either.
Yeah, no, they didn't. They didn't run their business.
All I did was monopolize on all the deals that they were giving out on all the used DVDs, because I would walk in with like $20 and walk out with like 50.
Yeah, no, you
fucking
walk out with
DVDs,
so
you know
many.
what I mean?
You know, it's a shame.
Scratched and everything.
The
Because
5
they
for
didn't give a
20, the
shit.
5 for 20, 3 for 20.
And you think about Walmart and Target used to have that in the middle of the aisle with grab candy. Like remember like the bin that they were having out? They don't do that anymore.
So like the thing that Blockbuster, like I know like Blockbuster ain't really the topic of conversation, but it's a fun convo right now. The number one thing that I did when I went to Blockbuster, obviously I rented, you know, movies, video games, but it was one of the only few places where you can specially order movie posters.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
over there,
you couldn't buy those in Walmart, and like Target wasn't around back then.
Yeah,
you know, Kmart was there.
That was your source. That or the FYE.
Or Suncoast movies,
Yes.
videos.
Yes.
I just thought that era in time was like it was such a good time in the generation before all this fast activity started happening. Now we're in the fast world, bro. Where a million things is happening, a million miles a moment.
Where
you know
like
what I
the
mean?
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles from the 90s movie. You know how long you had to wait for that to go on VHS?
Bro, I had the
And now it's
original.
like boom and it's streaming within like a couple months. You had to wait almost a year.
My
A year and a
mother.
half.
And you had to wait outside like video games and stuff like that
I
back
want
in
to
the
flip
day.
this fucking table right now. I swear. My mother, when I was like, it came out in '89, right? The original.
The original movie is 90.
Original.
90.
90.
So I had the original movie poster sealed in a fucking in like a frame. Now it never came rolled. It came in the frame. That poster right now is worth like $500 something. That shit lasted on my wall for years. I wish I would have known back then that I know now of what we chase as nostalgia, that would have proceeded to be something as extraordinary, because it was behind glass. It wasn't behind plastic. It was actual
glass.
frame. Like they actually took pride in this shit. This was a commemorative thing. And the Ninja Turtles is one of those things that have transcended time. You know what I mean?
That's why I feel done right. I think the makers of them and the makers of Barbie Master of the Universe, I think they could come out. I think they could come out with some really good stuff. Not even like it wouldn't even have to be a movie. I feel like if HBO kind of grabbed something with them and made it into like a 10-episode series, like tops, I think you would have a really good run.
You know damn well you are hinting towards a Last Ronin right now, bro.
Bro, that's absolutely.
You are hinting towards a Last fucking Ronin right now.
Before and after right there. Now, let's be real. A Last Ronin movie would be awesome.
Yes, but it has to be dark. It can't
Has to be rated R.
PG-13.
But I would be like, this is how you have to satisfy our generation of it, because I would still want flashbacks of the original '90 movie. So you kind of go like a little flashback of how like memory lane and everything, and then you kind of get where he's at now.
Yeah.
So like almost how in the comic book he was like talking to himself and didn't realize nobody was there yet. If they could kind of tie in flashbacks with the original movies going into like a new thing, I think that'd be amazing.
Now, with the new movie that's out, the animation, we know Seth Rogen's behind it. We know that we all have a general feel that it's going to be a good movie.
I can't.
Do you guys feel that it could have been better as a live action, or do you think animation was the route to go?
Especially for this year, Yes.
Animation.
Animation was
Animation.
perfect,
This
definitely.
honestly, this year animation dominated the box office.
Yeah.
I cannot say
yeah.
nothing else with
Look,
it.
look at everything. If you think about it,
Super Mario, Into the Spider-Verse,
even
and Turtles.
even when the Dragon Ball Z movie came out, that was hitting up. Anime has actually been running
Yeah.
things for like a good solid 2
But
years.
if you go,
I would say 5, but it break out the
Yeah.
last 2 years.
but
They've
if you
been
go
running shit.
into the box office like pictures right now, the one that made the most money this year is Mario Brothers.
Yeah.
Right now, that's like one of the few
That's owned
billion.
by who? Who owns the
That
Mario Brothers?
was
I don't even know nowadays who the fucking owns shit. You
I
know
know,
what I mean?
I know because everybody's been bought out pretty
We need
much.
a man in the chair.
that was the people that did
Straw hat.
that was
He's
the,
got his.
that was the people that did
That's a dope ass background. Just so you
I
know.
appreciate
that was
it.
the people that did
That's my
Despicable
boy.
Me.
Despicable Me.
Yeah, they did the
Was it-
Mario
was it-
Brothers.
Oh, Pixar. Yes,
Yeah,
right,
Pixar.
No, that's not Pixar.
Despicable Me. Is that
Yeah,
Pixar?
that's
I thought it was
no.
Pixar.
It is Universal.
No.
Okay, Universal.
It's Universal
yeah.
Pictures and Nintendo.
What the
Yeah,
hell?
yeah,
What was the
Nintendo-
last thing
yeah.
that Universal even fucking put out? I don't recall.
You don't
Disney
really-
Disney has
Yeah,
been
you
running the
don't- I was
world
just
for the
saying, you
last
don't even
fucking
see-
15 years. You know what I mean?
That's why I figured they almost owned everything.
And Fox. You know,
But
Fox is now owned by Disney, so it really doesn't even matter.
So what I was saying with animation dominated this year. Like
Oh, yeah.
Super Mario Brothers is the only movie
They hit a billion.
that hit $1 billion this year. Every other movie that has not even got close. Closest one live action wise, Guardians. Guardians made like almost $900 million this year.
Everybody go and check out the cast that we just dropped because we gave a quick review with Straw Hat, Sriracha, and myself of Guardians of the Galaxy 3. And I firmly believe it's one of the best movies that was out this year. 100%.
So with Turtles, and Turtles itself being animated, I'm perfectly fine with it. Just the fact that I listened to what they actually watched the behind the scenes things and them talking about it and how they wanted the art to look. They wanted the art to look like a high school student fucking made it. And that's the direction they look for.
What he did.
Yeah.
That's
They
cool.
wanted.
That's what I gathered out of it. I know Seth Rogen has the adult thing. The problem is with, like, I love Seth Rogen, but when I see him in animation, I think of, what's that hot
Sausage
dog
Party.
movie? Sausage Party. And,
Oh,
like,
yeah.
I just don't want it to be that.
So-
but I know he's from our generation. No offense to Straw Hat over here. He's from our generation, and he's going to want to make a Ninja Turtles movie good.
Yeah. So again, he's a big fan of Ninja Turtles, so he wanted to do it right. He paid homage. If you actually look at the trailer, you look at how they built the characters. One, they wanted the turtles to be teenagers.
That makes
It's
sense
like-
because I made a comment
it
about
is
like
like-
how they were built
Yeah, it is like
around,
the
and
first time.
that makes a lot of sense.
They
you
wanted
know?
they actually got teenagers to talk to them.
Yeah, it is like one of the, like you're just saying now, how it is the first movie we get where they're like actually teenagers. Like
Yeah.
the other movies, like they're like anticipated as teenagers and growing up and stuff, but this is like really like they got teenage brains. They're like they're
Going through puberty.
Yeah.
How old
literally.
were they in the '90s movie?
They
They're
always
15.
in the movies. They always been like
15.
15, 16 years old.
Yeah,
So in every iteration of Ninja Turtles, even like to this,
they always just seem
like
grown
that,
already.
you always get the misconception that they're
Because they're
grown.
ninjas.
Yeah,
Mhm.
So do you think they're fully like when they put like the versus Raphael versus Daredevil? I will put Daredevil. The reason why he has more experience than the Raphael. Raphael's only 15 years old.
And Raphael is emotional in every iteration of Raphael.
Wow,
And you
that's
can check
right.
out,
Think about
you can
that.
check out our Shell Shock, and we talk about this. We ran through every single movie. Every single movie is based behind the emotions of Raphael. Raphael is like the main character
Yeah,
in every single turtle
I wouldn't
movie.
have put together the age-wise with them because I thought they were in
The
early
arcades?
20s, like
No.
maybe like
Oh,
2021.
no, they're teenagers.
The only
in that movie.
No, yeah,
no, I feel what you mean. They feel adult.
Him losing to Daredevil actually would make more sense to me now
The-
because you're right, experience.
And again, they even show that in the Batman Turtles team up.
Yeah.
They're,
which is
they're kids.
awesome.
yeah.
They're kids.
Yeah.
He's considered them kids because they
Now
are
they
fucking
should do a Daredevil one too, because technically they like to say they came from the same.
Like I said,
They're from the same area in
Yeah.
Manhattan.
So Ninja Turtles never did
Midtown
anything with Marvel.
and Hell's Kitchen is right there.
Ninja Turtles never did anything with Marvel, and that's a shame. That's a real shame. Like my dream team
I
up
was gonna
is
say who would you like?
Turtles and Spider-Man.
Yeah, that'd be
which
cool.
would be genius. Teenage years,
Yeah.
which is great. They both got power and huge responsibility that they both have to learn to master at the same time. And what makes and breaks both of them, one of their, I would like to say parents are still alive. Their teacher. So you think Splinter's still alive, but Ben is not.
Yeah.
So that could kind of go. He could get Spider-Man can learn from Splinter a little bit.
But if you
And
think
also
about,
mentor the turtles at the same time from
Yeah.
experience.
Ways, yeah.
You know
but
what
if
I
you
mean?
think about Spider-Man's personality, he fits all 4 turtles.
Oh, all 4 turtles.
Spider-Man's a teenager at the same time.
Yeah.
He's a
But-
teenager at the same time. He's a science whiz like
Science
Donatello.
whiz, yeah.
He has
Yeah.
the aggression like Raphael. He has the emotion like Leonardo. He has
And
the
he's
fun-
funny
he's the
as
quirk
Michelangelo.
I
And
suggest
he has like the
everybody,
ADD, you know what I'm saying?
everybody go and check out the
That's-
Ninja
that's
Turtles
brilliant.
Power Ranger team up because that was like what we're talking about because the Power Ranger team up with the Ninja Turtles, they were teenagers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was a great comic and it was a great movie or
Comic,
series,
it was just comic book series. Yeah.
comic book series. You know what I mean? Like to me, I've seen it as a movie because it was really.
Now, why do you think Marvel and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles?
I just feel like they didn't have the right deal and they just never did it.
And I think
Because
that
if you
DC
do-
trying to utilizes everything.
If you do an Enter the Spider-Verse anime, kind of blend that in with what they're doing anime-wise with the Ninja Turtles, if you do a crossover with that, I think that would be.
It would be cool, but I don't think Marvel is interested.
It sucks. Because I think that'd be. But like, why not? Now I understand the movies, but why not comic books?
But comics I wouldn't pass. But the
Like,
thing
why?
is, 'cause
Why haven't they done
I remember
that?
like Kevin Eastman that he always wanted a Turtle Daredevil team up just because
Because
license
it's
of it.
there.
But they just never had the right deal. They never had the right agreement.
And I'm so
things like that.
surprised that people like Stan Lee and like Kirby wouldn't like entertain that. Because Stan Lee even gave a chance with DC and made his own version.
Stan Lee had Spider-Man sold to Japan, and so he did utilize Spider-Man in a sense where he did share him.
So
It wasn't just in-house. You know what I mean? Like,
So-
Spider-Man did venture out.
with Stan Lee at that time when Turtles came out, he wasn't really writing comics at the time.
When the Turtles
He
came
was
out, he
more
wasn't.
of the 80s, 83.
Yeah, that
So
yeah.
he wasn't really writing the comics.
That was
He-
more like the
He
McFarlane.
was a chief editor and stuff like that, and he was trying to license the Marvel comics out.
Yeah.
But he wasn't really writing in that time.
This is something that Straw Hat that I feel like he would relate to. Didn't Turtles just come out with like a crossover with Stranger Things?
Yes,
Yeah, because
first book that just came out, I think.
Well,
the first
Stranger
because I
Things.
did see that. Because Stranger Things personally is my favorite show of all time, and like how Merc was just saying, like I relate to Spider-Man is my all-time favorite character, so it would be cool to see them, team up with the Turtles or just him team up with the Turtles.
I mean, I don't
But-
see like it
but, like-
happening, but I do understand.
Yeah, but like the idea of thinking like Stranger Things and the Turtles is definitely, I would say, out of all the collaborations and team ups, I would say that is the most different. Like,
you should read the
Far-fetched.
first issue.
Yeah.
You'll get a good laugh.
because
out of it.
like because
Because he's reading, he's telling you.
I read the first issue.
That's why you
It's
remember
it's
because
ridiculous.
I already know that you are like I'm a Stranger Things fan, but I know that you're.
Yeah.
Because it is a unique
That's
way.
why I want you to interact with this man right now because he can
No,
try to
the-
not sell
yeah.
you on it, but like
It's
sell you on it.
it's a great thing, and this is something that like even beyond the classes like that. I talk to Tyler all the time. I'll send videos. I'll send things to him to check out. things like that.
he does.
And we tend to go back and forth with things like, oh shit, this is cool. You should check this out.
People say I talk a lot.
But going into like the Stranger Things, I think the time frame fits the Turtles because it's like it's like late 80s.
Actually,
late
yeah,
90s,
no,
and
you're
things
right.
like that.
Especially when they start
Gooniesville.
going into the high school year.
Yeah.
It's dead on
So
point.
it works if it fit,
Ah.
and then they fuck with the pizza creatures.
Now, would you?
The Baxters.
Yeah.
Now, would you
Yeah.
have them be noticed in the Upside Down world of Ninja Turtles, or would you have them in the normal world?
I would be the
How would you
normal world.
introduce
I don't
Most
think
likely, I would say normal
You think they
world.
would wake up like they like say being geeking out, like trying to beginning of a comic. Raphael wakes up out of nowhere and he's noticing like he's in his room, but he's
flickering.
not.
You know,
So they think
like a little cell
so
beforehand.
they think they're aliens, and they think they're from the underworld, and they get scared
which
of them
makes
and stuff like
sense.
that.
Instead
But,
of being
yeah.
Oh,
mutants.
so they are doing something.
Yeah.
I didn't even read.
So
I
now the
didn't even
toy
read
line
that.
came out before the comic did.
Yes, but the comic was already planned. They already
so
had
they,
it.
they just add that in as a promotion.
Yeah. So one thing
I always sat there like, what the fuck? Would I want to buy a Raphael with you know what I mean? Like with a character from. It just didn't make any
Oh
sense.
no, for me, I thought
So-
it was genius. Any collab I like that.
So-
Yeah, they did.
Because you're getting 2 for the price of 1. I get that. But that's a collector's mentality. Now, me as a person who reads, and we all read and we all watch, and everybody at this table is involved in everything that we're talking about. I just never seen the relation between the two until the Merc just said, hey, it's the 80s.
Yeah, it's like
And that's
it's
probably
late
the
late
highest
80s,
thing.
early 90s. Yeah, so
Yeah,
that's
I
where
mean-
it takes place at.
Yeah, that's perfect what he said there. And what is cool about it too is like, because you get these all other like collaborations with DC. They even have Cobra Kai, and that's even more perfect because they're both ninjas. Like
I don't like
trained.
that at all.
But the thing is like, every single team up you have with them is always them fighting. Like in Stranger Things, they have to use their brain more. Like in general, like they can't just
Ah,
go
so,
straight
like,
up and
Yeah.
beat people up. Like
So you
no.
think like guys like Raphael would have an issue kind of settling in, where Donatello
Is the
Donatello,
brain.
yeah.
will like really
Like,
function?
Leo and Donatello will probably lead the pack.
Fuck
Because,
yeah. Shake the rattles for that one,
Yeah.
because Donatello's the greatest Ninja Turtle who ever been
my
out
God.
there ever, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, but Michelangelo outlived them all.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you chew on that, you fuckers.
I didn't write the comics, so.
Yeah, I feel like it'd be really cool because you get to see like a detective side toward them. That you
Yeah,
guys
no,
never
Yeah,
seen
yeah,
before.
yeah. No, you
Stranger
wouldn't
Things,
have.
They are trying to figure out
Yes, it's
what
all-
is going down.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because everything's affecting their town, affecting their
So-
city.
You mind if I spoil some of the
And
content?
wouldn't the upside down kind of feel like?
please do.
Wouldn't the upside down kind of feel like the sewers?
Yeah, so you kind of called it. You kind of called it in a way. So basically, when they first interacted with the turtles, is the fact that they were following some of the upside down aliens and shit like that into the sewer, and they see the turtles fighting, like beating them up because they might have been in the lair and shit like that. So they help them take care of them, and then
Yeah.
Mikey's kind of one that breaks the ice because
That's
again
right.
he saw the kid's hat and liked the kid's hat,
Yeah.
so they actually broke the ice, and that's how they.
That's how they did that. That's actually really
That's
cool.
awesome.
That's really
That-
cool.
that just-
Now, would you see that as like an
Lights
anime
me up on the
clip?
inside.
Like an
I-
anime,
so-
like a little
So
anime movie.
something that we actually like, me and you had a big conversation about how they could expand turtles because
Yeah.
again, like animated movies, like based on stories and things like that, they have a lot of stuff they could do
So
beyond the IDW Image Comics
Oh,
to
yeah.
Barrage to Archie to
I would love Archie. I would love Archie
To
because
Archie,
Archie would be in the
yeah.
Marvel.
Yeah.
Archie would be in the Marvel universe.
not really.
It would. Archie's owned by Marvel,
No, it's not.
isn't it?
no, Archie's
Been its own.
It's
company
been its
for
own
many
thing,
years.
actually.
Well,
The
I
only,
guess what
but they
CW
did have Punisher in
Yeah.
Archie.
that-
No,
Yeah.
they had a bleed in.
But they didn't have a
CW makes
Yeah.
Archie to me in my head more
Yeah,
Marvel.
but like you were
than what
posting
I'm
too,
talking
like
about.
you could have had like what did you Street Fighter you posted on your page.
So I
I thought that was really cool.
I've been reading a lot of the team ups. I've been reading Usagi with the Turtles. I've been reading Street
I
Fighter with
love
the Turtles.
Usagi Yojimbo.
And Usagi makes the most sense because honestly, Stan Suzuki is the creator of Usagi Yojimbo. He loved the
You
Turtles.
love the turtles. Yeah.
So he always let them use his license because he loved the Turtles, and Eastman and Laird loved Usagi Yojimbo. So
Right.
it was a perfect match.
Yeah.
And the way that one comes up and how they get to it, they know each other still.
Yeah.
So when all the turtles got they went to a Dimension X thing and they got transported to this
And the
line.
Ultimate Fighter stuff.
Well, in the
That's later.
in this comic, it's not. It's they
Okay.
got brought into their world. Usagi was like, "Hey, Leonardo," and shit like
And
that.
then- because if you think about it, I think even because anytime you want to turn something into a movie, they want to change the script like so much.
but
And
that's
but I feel
like
like
innovate.
but I feel like what the Ninja Turtles have and other stuff like the other movies we were talking about, you could just literally take that plot that they have and just turn it into a live action. Like if you think about the Batman animated series and the Superman animated series, the original ones,
Just do that.
yeah.
fucking do that. I forgot who said that online.
Yeah, I
think
just
it's
saw
one of
it
the guys.
recently. I know
And it's like,
exactly
and the
what you're
guy's
talking
so smart because you could take the whole story itself, and he's like, you want to make a lot of money, DC? You want to get your fans back in your pocket? He goes, take Batman, take Superman from the anime series, live action.
Take it
Don't
from-
change nothing, live action.
Take it from me and Merc.
Yeah.
Do not take the 1988 Ninja Turtles cartoon and turn it into anything.
No, that you gotta
Do
leave
not do
Unless
it.
Donatelli is the main villain.
Unless
Donatelli is the
not
main
do it.
villain.
We've already ran through the whole 88 series, and the 88 series is like, it's a clusterfuck of like a couple of good episodes here and there,
Yeah.
and then it's just a reamped version of everything else that has ever
Because
happened.
there's so many stories that could lead into something else, to something else. Like I was telling Merc earlier today with Transformers and G.I. Joe. That's another huge fan base, a very long fan base over the years that keep on recurring. I just feel like they use certain actors that they shouldn't for certain roles. But now you have Transformers introducing G.I. Joes together, which to me is mind-blowing, because from what, the 70s, 80s, 90s, it died off a little bit, then
And then it
late
comes back
2000 it comes back.
I think
It's a
Transformers came
forever,
back
like
with
the-
Michael Bay.
Yeah, it's like Ninja Turtles and like Star Wars is a forever fan base.
Yeah.
But we already did Star Wars so much, right? We already did, oh my God, every Avenger. And I'm a Marvel geek, but we did everything Marvel. Why aren't we utilizing these great stories
From the 80s.
From the 80s
From
and
when
like
we were
bringing them
kids
out?
and shit.
Because now a lot of manga and stuff like that kind of mimics certain stories from back then that kind of make it to their own, like
I mean,
Ragnarok.
this guy right here is the manga king.
Well, you
so-
think about it, Ragnarok is a story of something else with like Thor and
Ragnarok is Greek
Asgard.
mythology.
They turned that into a whole different TV
Yeah.
show with battle of all different gods with every different
Yeah,
culture.
Thor.
So,
ended
like,
up
if
in the
anime-
Power Rangers at one point.
Yeah,
in
so
time,
you think
know
about it.
what
So if anime could do that and have its own thing, and like, you know, I'm not saying anime mimics all other things, but if they were able to take Greek mythology and literally turn it into a battle of the gods of every type of mythology out there, why can't we do that with oh my God, with
Transformers,
shit,
you know,
shit like
the,
that?
The
Like,
fucking Thundercats.
why
You know what
not?
I mean?
You know what I'm saying?
I feel like companies, like, they try to put out what political view the world is in at the moment. Like,
That's why you're
Like,
right.
to an extent, but they
It's
still
more than usual, though.
But they
It's been
still
more than
have the
usual.
audience. They want to appetize their audience. If Thundercats came out right now with a live action movie, everybody from the 80s and the 90s are going to go see that fucking movie. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
It's
but
like-
they're gonna
They would have to test the waters anime though right now.
yeah,
I feel like
because I
anytime-
don't think a live action would work.
It's hard because they're gonna want to make that fur and everything so realistic, but it's just like it might not work with that style because they did a live action we talked about before, Dragon Ball Z, and that that just got awful. You know, it
I don't
was
know,
so
I've
bad.
never
They
seen
couldn't.
it.
Like, I feel like certain
I've
things could just stay on anime. You know,
Yeah,
But,
I mean, even DC's going
Master
into
of the-
anime now.
Master of the Universe, I would love to see a nice live action movie with.
See-
I would like to see maybe like a trilogy. Because the new one that's the animated one on Netflix, I was telling Merc with the mic, and I want Tyler to watch. It's phenomenal. The adultish one, not the kid one. There's two.
What are you talking about?
Masters of the Universe.
Oh, the original one with Dolph
I was
Lundgren.
saying that
Revelations.
Revelations. Yeah, no, I'm talking about the new one, the newest one that came out.
'Cause
Yeah,
my brain's
that-
on the
That
Dolph
one,
Lundgren.
that one was phenomenal, and I like they teetered differently a little bit, and they took a risk because a lot of the original fan base wasn't a lot of fan at the time. But I feel like what I had to do, I rewatched it and I fell in love with it, and I think they were gonna do another one.
They
I'm
have
not-
another season coming
They
out.
have another season coming up, and I'm dying to see that. And I think they could take that idea of that script, and I feel like they could definitely do a live action like
That's
that.
actually,
What would you feel, going off what you just said right there, what would you feel from back in the day, from back when we were kids? I know Strawhead, unfortunately, is kind of like sidetracked on this, but maybe there's something that you can bring to this table. What would you want to come to either a live action or an anime from back in the day that hasn't been utilized yet?
So I have quite a few because I'm very big with retro shit. I'm big with 80
You
cartoons
both,
and shit like that. One thing in particular that I think could actually be a cool concept for a movie is Mask.
The Mask, is it Dark Horse Mask,
No.
or is it?
You don't know which Mask I'm talking about.
Because that's where
So,
my brain automatically
In the
goes.
80s, there was an 80s cartoon called Mask. It was parentheses MASK, which was kind of like G.I. Joe when they had cars that like transformed and shit.
Bro,
They all had,
I'm
like,
not
their
kidding.
helmets
I
and
know
shit.
exactly what you're talking
I
about.
think that could be a really dope like interaction into narration
Because
into a movie.
think about this, not a lot. I'm sorry, I cut you. I got excited with that. I didn't mean to cut you off. No, but
Think
think
of
about
Maracas
it. But
for that one.
Think about it. That could work because it's not a huge fan base. But look at Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah.
Nobody knew that shit.
Nobody knew that. In the comic books, it was popular to an extent, but it died out going into the 90s and the 2000s. So when they brought that out with a different little take, and they ran with it, I think they could do that with Mask. Absolutely.
Like Mask.
Who would you pick though as an actor?
I really don't know because again, it depends on like the time frame when they did the movie.
I was just gonna say the same thing.
And you kind of want.
Is it 10 years from now? Is it today?
But it also goes into the point that if you want to make a franchise, if you want to do 3 movies, you want to do 2 movies, you kind of want to.
So say trilogy.
That. I can't like cast everyone.
No, just for the main character. If you had to pick a main character for a trilogy,
I will say have your supporting characters to be the ones that are known, and have the main character be a new person.
Yeah, to highlight them.
Yeah,
I like that. I like that as well.
Yeah, I think that would be that would be a cool one to do.
As a fresh face with like familiar faces behind it.
I like that.
I personally, because I always liked. Again, I'm a big Ninja Turtle fan, as you fucking could tell. Biker Mice from Mars.
Ooh.
Oh, okay. Ooh. All right.
Ooh.
So
I would want like Jim Henson behind that though. I would want the Muppets behind that. You know what I mean? Because I feel like the way Jim Henson did like Rats back in like the 80s and like the early 90s. It was musky.
Yeah.
It was, like, you felt the whiskers. Yeah. The way they did Splinter and fucking the Ninja Turtles.
Yeah.
Like
you can't beat that. I'm sorry. You cannot beat that Splinter in anything. I'm sorry. I don't care.
No,
that is the best looking Splinter
like
ever.
Mike's, unless it's like a real true animation or claymation, maybe.
I'm also fine with things being animation. I don't think everything has to be live action, and that goes into what the new Turtles Mayhem. I'm fine with it being CGI. I'm fine with being animation. The reason why you could do more and play with more.
The only one I wouldn't want like that is a Last Ronin. I want a real live action.
With Last Ronin,
I am conflicted because I feel like Last Ronin could be in every single realm of 3D, 2D, 1D, fucking everything. You know what I mean?
They're making the game.
Yeah. So
I just feel like I would.
Do we have a time frame?
Oh, sorry.
When that game's going to come out?
No. So what I'll say with that is the fact that I will say wait for the game first.
Wait for the game first,
and let it see where it goes. Because like the whole universe right now, like. Yes, we are collectively in tune to Last Ronin. And the Last Ronin, the first 5, has been a fan favorite. I'm pretty sure they won Comic Book of the Year.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I think it's because of us.
I'm not
crazy. You on sales alone.
I'm not crazy about the Lost.
I haven't even started reading it.
I've read most of.
I couldn't do it.
Have you even dove down into the Last Ronin yet?
Yeah, Jeremy actually like forcefully made me buy 4
absolutely.
books of
that's my boy.
As he should.
Yeah, I think I was like threatening him with workouts and upping his rates at the gym. Like I was like, we're gonna have a problem if you don't read this story.
The gym.
The gym, 10-8 Technology Drive, right in East of Talking to Long Island.
Long Island. It's on the island, not in the island.
Those T-shirts are going to come out soon. Long Island. All right, first session's free on the house. You know, so when he was on the edge, because I'm like, listen, man, you got me to watch Attack on Titan. He had me watch.
The obvious is at Target right now.
Oh, I know, I got to grab that. And then when he put me on Dragon Ball Super because I was kind of iffy with it, I was like, yo. You put me on this, I watch this, you better freaking read this. I'm like, if you like what he's telling me he likes in anime, I'm like, there's no way you're not going to like
I've
this.
never heard your insight of Last Ronin. What do you think of the Last Ronin? I don't want to
real quick,
too much.
Shout out to Murray real fast. I never see you on.
Ryan
What's up,
Murray,
brother?
my man. What's up, brother?
But back to you, Tyler.
You know, so I did buy it because of Jeremy, and I bought a couple different covers, and I thought it was cool, like just
better.
And
better.
Like
we got like everything.
I read it, and I was like, you know what, this is actually pretty cool because, like, you know, I mean, I grew up with Ninja Turtles, and like growing up, you've never seen the Ninja Turtles without each other, and it's
I feel that.
It's like a different vibe to it all and everything, and it's like crazy to think like I can't like when I read it, I know it's just the first volume because I don't have the newest one that came out.
It's the only volume that really matters.
I'm not crazy about the new ones.
Honestly, Tyler, I even stopped buying them. Yeah. I try to get into it, and they could have did so good. They
should have just left it alone.
You should finish it, honestly, Tyler. When you finish it, but when you can, we'll talk about that. But I feel like they could have highlighted better things for like a backstory for this.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's what they dropped the ball on. And the artwork was not the same.
I haven't read a single issue yet,
yeah,
so I
couldn't-
don't know.
The first one, as soon as you told me, I read it. The reason why it took me so long was I knew it was going to hit me hard. I told them that. It took me like a month because I read the first
we
one.
were
I'm not
emotional.
doing it. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it after
For
what I
everybody
just
out there
read.
listening, first off, me and the Merc, when it first came out, we were so into it and emotional together with it. When I presented it to Sriracha over here, I re-dove down into the world and re-felt the wounds of everything to the point that we were at his house watching these videos of
Summing it
people
all up, yeah.
beautifully putting it together with animation and everything else.
So good.
That was so good to the point I'm getting chills thinking about it. You know what I mean? It was a phenomenal story. And like what Straw Hat said over here, it's the first time. Like we never ever thought growing up
I didn't even
that the
look at
turtles
it.
would die.
Or yeah, like it was just like it was really hard to believe that this turtle we're reading and go looking at is
Which
my
we don't know
grandpa.
who is until the third issue.
Yeah, like
The third issue, you don't find out who
I
it is.
called it way before the fucking thing
definitely
happened.
did. But I did call who the first one was to go.
Yeah.
I did call that. And me and him are power washing down track 19. Real quick. And I'm reading it as he's power washing, and I'm reading it on a tablet on his motherfucking comicology. You know what I mean? Shouts out to the Merc With The Mic for blessing me with so many fucking streaming platforms, bro. And I sat there and I watched Raphael die, and I legitimately stopped. And he's like, keep going. I'm like, I can't. I'm about to cry. I'm about to cry. He's like, we gotta get the job done. I was like, Raphael just died, bro.
Yeah, you know what's funny? Like at my old job, I was driving, and because it was only a couple years ago, and when I was driving, there was one point where I was chilling and I was on TikTok and I was scrolling through, and all of a sudden I see a bunch of like news feeds of Ninja Turtles popping, and it's like all the turtles died, and I was like, what? I was like, wait, what are you talking about? And then, and then once I was coming here, Jeremy found out about it, and he was just going off about it. So
I even talked about it in my church.
They were doing sermons. It was songs.
I was telling all the kids out there, so, you like comics? Come here, I got to tell you something real fast.
Let me tell you about this.
Let me tell you about the last Ronin.
You were just talking about you were driving. Yo, what if an audio book of this would be fucking dope?
Yeah.
You have to have the right person read it, and
You have the original
call me
people who voiced
corny.
them out.
Call me corny.
They
I
try
want-
to make audiobooks cheap.
I want Morgan Freeman.
They're too expensive.
I would want Morgan Freeman to read me that story.
Morgan Freeman.
Morgan freaking Freeman.
So something
I
that we
want
were
him
talking
read
about is going to get different platforms and different like that with
Yeah.
the story. The thing with Last Ronin, and I think that the fact that it's dark and shit like that, I think the video game fits it.
Okay.
From what I've read from the last things that I know for the video game, WB Games owns the rights for Turtles, video game wise.
Yeah.
Which Rocksteady
Like the makers, Rocksteady?
Rocksteady is one of their creators, and they've been hinting that been wanting to do a Ninja Turtle game. Rocksteady has done
That would be
Arkham
amazing.
Asylum.
Yeah, I was ready to say.
The way I think of it, who made Alan Wake?
Alan Wake is Remedy.
Alan Wake would be a perfect Last Ronin
How do you play
because
it
like
around-
you could
how
do the
long
flash,
ago-
you could do the flashbacks.
How long ago you played Alan Wake?
I don't know, 2000.
It's not the
11.
game.
You know what I mean?
So I think you got to mix a blend of action and dark. Like honestly, Rocksteady would be a perfect company for it. That's the people that did Arkham Asylum and shit like
Rocksteady's
that.
the truth.
And like the fight system will
Because
work
you
and
need
shit like that.
you need a great story.
But you need a good
both
story.
for
You
this.
need
Like,
good voice acting.
that.
You need the
I want the
top-notch
free
shit.
roam. I heard that was like
Yeah.
a rumor. Like there's a free roam. That's all great.
Yeah.
I don't give a shit about
And
that.
then
I want to make sure that story is on point because that's going to sell a lot
Yeah.
of people.
Not an open universe. You're talking about not an open universe.
No,
free
I mean a
story.
free zone in the video
Yeah,
game. Like that's
okay.
what the advertising.
I thought that
sell
you were
people.
talking about
That's
not an
all
open
great and
universe.
everything, but like I want the story to be a great story because
So-
that's going to make and break everything being a movie.
I mean, with
or not.
April and like like we dive down into like each of the deaths, like Casey, the fact that Splinter is the reason why Donatello fucking died, because Splinter, who practices humility all day, came out of his own, for lack of better words, his shell, and got emotional, and it killed Donatello because of it. It's fucked up.
I'm just saying, if you read the IDW comic, Splinter ain't that emotional. He cut shut his head off.
Yeah.
Yo, the Merc has been an innovator for
100%.
IDW all day.
He cut his head off, and then he took over the foot.
Well, because he was originally, his master, Motoyoshi, was originally the leader.
No, they were both part of
They're both part of that, yeah.
But if you could get something with the game, then you could build that into an animated movie or a regular movie. Yeah. But the game has to be
the stepping stone for that, pretty much. Because you think about everybody's big gamers more than ever now. So if you could draw in that crowd and they love that, I could definitely see a movie. Because let's be real, if Uncharted could be made, that can be made.
Oh, 100%.
You know?
Because also you have Turtles in other different iterations. You had the Cowabunga collection that Konami put out. You also got Shredder's Revenge, which was
that was
dope.
It was really dope, and it was like kind of a new arcade game, but paying homage to the original.
And the same side scroll of all the old school of like Ice Heights, of like Turtles in Time, all those old school games.
Shout out, you got DLC coming out with Usagi Yojimbo, which I'm excited about.
Nice.
The Merc loves Usagi Yojimbo. He really does.
But again, it goes into what territory you want to do with Turtles. I was telling you, and this is something I always talk to you about. Turtles right now, they're a horror. They sell it. That's why their licenses go everywhere.
That's why I'm hoping that prototype they take a piece of that and make some money.
But I'm hoping like one thing that Turtles could do, and doesn't have to be a particular thing, is that they should make animations off of storylines.
Yes.
They have a history of good animation. Netflix, they have Rise of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the movie.
Yes.
That movie was fucking fantastic.
Well, 2003, right?
No, it was
no, that was like 5.
Oh yeah.
Was it last year?
So Rise of Turtles was last year or like early 2021, and that movie was fantastic. If you're an anime fan, you will love the.
You will love that, right?
It has a very good.
I'm gonna check it out.
And Rise is a good. Rise, I liked Rise. I personally liked Rise. A lot of people didn't like Rise because it was like too different and shit like that.
It was that the one I was talking about at Buffalo Wild Wings? The time, like they kind of like in a different time travel or something like that.
No, that's Turtles Forever.
Yeah, Turtles Forever.
That was unique.
Turtles Forever. So me and Merc Wit The Mic, we have a podcast called Shell Shock where we dove down into every single movie, and we started off with the movies, and now we're diving down into the TV shows. You know what I mean? Which I would say, we're on the 2008 series right now.
Yeah.
2008 series is by far the best Ninja Turtles series-wise when it comes to Ninja Turtles.
Yeah.
But Turtles Forever. And I said it to him, we watched that shit prematurely. That movie was so good, but it gave away so much for me before I even watched the series.
So, cause it kind of ruined the thing because...
What Shredder is.
It's based on 2003's Turtle show, which I think you should actually check out. And I think you
phenomenal.
Actually like it. Because then there's an episode in season 3 that's very last Ronin-ish.
Watch that fucking show. Yeah. You will love it.
It's on Paramount.
It is on Paramount, right?
You will not stop watching.
But
it's so good. There's gladiators. There's multiverses. There's so much, and there's actually a continuous storyline, which up to that point in time we never had. When it came to Ninja Turtles.
I think as a cartoon series, that was probably one of the best
ones.
Had. I personally love 2012, and 2012 was. I loved what they did with Splinter.
Okay.
Splinter was a fucking badass in that show.
They need to do stuff like that.
And
to show that.
But the way they did
Splinter was like
Splinter was like
he was.
If he's coming to fight with you, he's coming to fight.
He's coming. He's not playing around.
Someone's gonna get their ass kicked.
Yeah.
And then the thing is, like again, it's gonna be a spoiler when you guys watch it. He dies, and that episode fucking.
I was going to say it probably wrecks you. It has
and then the later season, later that season, they kind of go to a homage episode, and you see Splinter raising the turtles, and you actually see him as babies and shit like that. Teach them how to fight, teach them like that.
That's
cool. It's really like it touches the heart. It's actually really good.
The thing is with that series, what I really acknowledge and what I've noticed from the beginning that they didn't acknowledge themselves as brothers. You
In
know,
the
like
80s.
like through the history of like Ninja Turtles, the 80s, they didn't
Yeah.
they didn't speak of themselves as brothers.
The toy line too.
Yes.
So the original toy line, they're all from different pet stores.
What do you think of the new toy line?
Oh, really?
What do you think of the new toy
I didn't
line?
know that.
So you remember when you get the original toy, they had an old ID in the back, and they'll actually give you the profile. They're all from different toy,
He's looking at
different.
straw hat like he knows what he's.
No, they're
Oh,
actually now you can because
Yeah, they
fucking
rename
Walmart
them.
they
Yeah.
sell the old
In
school
Target,
fucking
yeah,
turtles.
you can get the entire original series remade, right?
Yeah, like they
What we
actually
grew
sell
up
it.
with.
Yeah.
But so like, you see how this is?
yeah.
They all the original figures had like a little bio right here,
Okay.
and they'll say from place, favorite thing to eat, what they do, what they use, and things
Yeah.
like that. And they actually had a full profile, and each turtle was from a different pet store. So they never considered themselves brothers in that cartoon series.
They were
They were
literally
best friends.
camarades,
Yeah.
comrades.
And Splinter
Which
was
is messed up because like every single iteration of Ninja Turtles, they spoke as them as brothers.
Now I'm kind of curious because we kind of just went in on like we definitely all grew up on Ninja Turtles and
Yeah.
everything.
Even-
Obviously, he had a part of it, but not like
Did you
huge
watch
as
Ninja
us.
Turtles when you were a kid?
But I want to know what sparked
You like
Tyler.
it?
What was Tyler's show, and maybe still to this day that he's always going to buy a figure if they drop another line of
What would
clothes
you
or shoes.
put us
Like,
on to?
what would
that
what would
grew up?
you what was your show as a kid that still sticks with you to this day? It could be show, movie, whatever. Like what impacted you to start?
It's hard to-
Stirred those creative
Yeah.
juices. you
Yeah,
know?
like it's really hard.
juices. I
it's-
just created the word.
It's really hard to say because, like, I'm so like into so many different things, and like even when I was younger too, like
You were a Cartoon
besides-
Network dude, though.
Yeah, Cartoon Network was my thing. Like I grew up on the 2000s and up Cartoon Network. But I have to say, like, if you want to go cartoon wise, like
Mhm.
and maybe from Cartoon Network, I would say Adventure Time. Adventure Time is
And-
my all-time
okay.
favorite Cartoon Network show. And then after that, I would have to say, I know Jeremy, your daughter was watching it, but Avatar: The Last Airbender, greatest Nickelodeon thing ever put out.
That was
Let him rest.
Nickelodeon.
Yeah.
Yeah, let him rest in
Nickelodeon.
peace to Quan. He told me I
you
should
know
always
damn well
watch
that was
that.
past my time.
If
And I'm so glad I
Yeah.
watched that with my daughter finally, and even the books, like the manga books that are coming out for
Yeah.
them. They have like a little historical fact with little tied in to each story. It's genius.
Because like the Avatar: The Last Airbender, like I watched it when it came out, like
Yeah.
when I was younger, because I think that was
So
like
you watched it was it week to week or was it like every day?
it depended on what show, like because
Like Power
It was-
Rangers
it was spread
literally
out.
every single day. when
the
we
thing
grew up.
is, Cartoon Network, like every channel was different. Because back
It was
then,
Nickelodeon.
like a streaming, like for anime streaming, like a big site is called Funimation and Crunchyroll. But back then it was just Funimation,
Right.
and Funimation had their own TV channel. So that's how I was watching.
That's how
anime.
you were watching
And then,
it.
but the thing is, like, Nickelodeon and Cartoon Network, they were different. Like, I think Nickelodeon was like periodically, like every like week, you know, they'll put on an episode. But like Cartoon Network was like at a certain time every day, this one show would be playing.
Yeah.
And like that's like how I watched it, and I watched it all because I was just into it, and I lived with my grandma at the time, and I'd be in her room with and our dad, and she I don't know, she might be even watching it with me and my mom. Like I put it on because I was like, I have to watch this.
That's
But,
cool.
Yeah,
That's cool.
Avatar. I'd have to say for any of you
Avatar?
guys, if you haven't checked it out,
I haven't.
Avatar: The Last Airbender is
You
by
should watch
far
that. Yeah.
one of the greatest animated series. Like out
You're
there.
gonna like this. Carlo, shouts out to Carlo right now. When I
Oh,
first
yeah.
linked up to our mutual friend, which I didn't even know. I've been rocking out with Carlo for like 7 years now. I just recently found out that he grew up with this motherfucker.
Oh,
That
get
was
out
my
of here.
boy.
Really.
And he went because he's a big avid Superman person, and I am a big avid Superman hater. Even though everybody knows here that I read more Superman comics than I fucking read anything else in the fucking world. But he actually mentioned to me, I was like, "Yo, listen, I want to get into certain things," and he mentioned that. He mentioned Airbender. He's like, you out of all people who've seen all this and all that, you've never seen, Airbender? I was like, I never had. And it's funny that you mentioned that because that was one of the first, like, geek conversations that I actually had with Carlos.
So you think, like, I feel Airbender for him was like Dragon Ball Z for, like, us
Yeah,
growing
well,
up.
the crazy
That's what, like, kind of started off for you, right? With
No.
anime.
The thing is, I actually watched Dragon Ball Z before.
Oh, you did?
And,
Okay. Because I feel like your generation a little bit younger.
Yeah.
Like the Quan was like my brother, around my brother's
Shouts out to
age.
Quan all day.
And that I know that was part of his upbringing, was like more Airbender. Like he grew up watching Dragon Ball Z because of me and his older brother and stuff like that. Like my brother watched it too. But I feel like his age group going into yours, it was more like Airbender. And then I felt like then you guys just kind of went off with anime. You guys brought in anime more than our generation did. It really did. You guys rained it on us. You know what I mean?
Like
we weren't anime growing up, bro. Our anime were comic books. You know what I mean?
Well, depending what you were able to go into, because
X-Men, that was our anime.
his generation is a lot more accepting now of anime, because our generation, like you talked about it, but like it wasn't a big fan base with a lot of people.
You need to make me a believer.
You know what I'm saying? So like that's why I feel Airbender.
Make me watch Death Note.
But that's cool though that Dragon Ball Z actually was your first love before Airbender. That's cool.
Yeah, like I only mentioned Airbender because you were just mentioning like cartoons.
Just
in general, because like really like what started it all for me. Like I don't want to get too heavy into it. But like
get heavy.
I mean, like,
bro, go ahead.
Okay, so like what started
baby.
What started me all was the first movie I've ever watched. I know these two know this. Merc's never heard me say this, but the first Tobey Maguire Spider-Man movie was the first movie I've ever seen ever since I came out of the womb. And like like I just got attached. And then the thing is, like, I even say to people, I'm like, if it wasn't for Spider-Man, I don't think I'd be into all the things I'm into. Because like Spider-Man, like it leads you off into other stuff because you watch it periodically. Like
gives you the tools.
I was born, like I watched the first one. Then the second one came out. Watched the second one. Then the third
Marvel movie
and
ever.
then like I branched out because there was other stuff on like channels like Funimation. That's what I'm saying. Like they were playing Dragon Ball episodes, and that's what started the anime for me.
That was with the guy with the spaceship that'll tell you, right? Like the next episode that was coming out and everything, right?
It took
Tsunami, right?
for you to dive into anime.
It took Spider-Man for me to dive into everything.
So
that's crazy because like for me,
and that's Merc too. Because Merc is he's one of the biggest Spider-Man fans that I know.
My first comic was Spider-Man. My mom got me a comic book for Spider-Man.
See, what drew me into everything was the Hulk, and it was the Lou Ferrigno show. I'll never forget a bag of Doritos in front of the screen as a little kid. My mother had the Sci-Fi channel on. I'll never forget the intro was literally the first episode. He's changing the tire.
Oh, man.
He hurt his hand.
I've seen every episode.
So I'm already glued. His eyes are changing. His shirt is ripping. He turned into this thing. And that was it for me.
Shouts out to Kevin Smith.
That's cool.
Shouts out for Kevin Smith for coming out with the show Comic Book Man, because that's actually one of the first things that me and the Merc actually related on. It was like when I first met the man. He was watching Comic Book Man. I'm like, bro, you know what I mean? Like, I got Harley Quinn tatted on my fucking
I feel like
arm.
I can relate to him with Spider-Man because it was that like opened it up, and then it's cool knowing that it's the same for Merc. And even if this guy doesn't want to admit it, Superman got him started. You know what I'm saying?
Superman was my first comic book I ever bought in my entire life, ladies and gentlemen.
So that's what started. Yeah, it started up. So it's really cool. We all had
number one, 100%. I'm a big hater of Superman, but I love his stories. There's a big difference.
So I have one thing. So Last Airbender and stuff like that. I actually put you to watch Voltron.
Yes, you did. And that thing is fire.
It's all on Tubi, right?
So
Tubi has it all.
No,
I told him he needs to watch that.
Last Airbender, the people that did Last Airbender did the Voltron series on Netflix.
That's awesome.
And it's so good.
I told Tyler when I was on the phone with him because I watched the movie The Sound of Freedom. That's another podcast for another day. And I was like, bro, just so off topic, I was like, Merc, you put me on this show. And it is fire. I was only through, I think I had 20 minutes left I had 10 minutes left of the first episode, and it was like a mini movie. And I'm not kidding you. I recorded the first part with you. I put my phone down, and that was it. I binge watched the entire thing. I love anime.
Yeah.
It has to really grab me to sit there and watch the entire thing. Because one of the true only shows of anime I'll forever just sit there and watch is Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah.
I'll sit there from
So
day in and day out and not move.
It's the
Would you
same
put me
artist.
on to that?
Yeah.
Fine.
It's the same artist as
Avatar.
And I like that artwork, though.
And it actually has a lot of the same voice actors too.
Avatar
I
is
think
its
they
own
have
anime,
a
right?
majority of the same voice actors, right?
Avatar and The Last Airbender are two different.
Avatar: The Last Airbender. That's what it's called.
Yeah, no,
Okay, so
we're not talking about the Avatar with the
You
blue
guys are
guys.
still-
Not the smart, not the tall smart.
You guys are huge. No,
Yeah, not the tall Smurfs.
not Fern.
The growth homo
Not Fern
Smurfs.
Not Fern.
So
Have you
it's
ever
cool-
seen Fern Gully?
No.
All right, you know the Avatar movies nowadays.
Yeah.
Watch the original movie from like 1993, Fern Gully. That's what it's based
It has a
on.
rapping bat.
Yeah,
It's literally
Yeah.
it has a
Yeah.
rapping bat.
Yeah,
Yes.
it does.
Yes.
Robert
See,
Williams talks to bat.
I
Rest in
personally
peace,
like.
Robert Williams.
I try my best. I can't my attention span can't grip on like animation. Like it just doesn't do it for
Which
me.
is crazy because it
I watch
fits your
every-
personality.
my demographic,
It
everything.
fits because that shit can get dark, and I'm not being a jerk. You like really dark stuff,
I do.
so it's like I don't know
I'm an
how
Evil Dead dude.
you
I'm
don't
a
even
fucking,
dive into any of that. Like it's really really good.
But
And if it's
for granted,
anything that you like, I feel like you would find something.
I will definitely say the one thing that I did dive down on, which was Death Note, and I was addicted to it from the very beginning, to the point when Straw Hat came over to the house and you started watching it, and I was like, bro, telling you everything about it.
Yeah.
Like I knew everything because I soaked it in, because I paid attention to it. Like, but for some reason with animation, like I can dive back into the old school TV shows of like Doug and Rugrats and stuff like that, and my brain will just wander. There's only one show that really like of like even watching the original Ninja Turtles with the Merc with the Mic over here for our Shell Shock podcast. My brain would wander, and I would have to rewind a million times.
There's only back and shit
it's
like
like
that,
it just
yeah.
doesn't grip with me. There's
No, I
only
get
one
that.
show
I
that
get
does that holds it. It's Hey Arnold. I don't know
Harry
why.
Potter does that to me all the time. I just can't get focused.
Yeah, but Harry
Sucks.
Potter's superior.
I'm sorry. I won't go with it.
And he's a big Harry Potter hater as well. So
Oh,
like,
man, I know. That's why I looked at him. I'm like, hold on, I gotta say something.
The Merc, but I never also once heard him ever praise Lord of the Rings ever once either. So that's neither.
That's
here nor
another
there.
topic.
Oh yeah, 100%. But when it comes to animation, like I would love to dive down into like anime, and I know damn well that it's really dark. Like
Ragnarok.
there's some really crazy
Ragnarok.
shit that happens.
For you?
I started Attack on Titan,
Honestly?
so don't get me wrong.
You did?
It was. I started it.
What the
And you
fuck,
wanna
man?
tell
You
us.
didn't say anything? Yo, hit him with the maracas real
Yeah.
fast. Like physically, hit him with the maracas.
Yeah. hit me. No, I started. It's good. It's good.
The first
He even sounded like DMX right there.
The
It's
first
good.
episode I was in tune, but I'm not gonna lie. After a little bit, I start looking at my phone. I start
Yes.
fucking looking around. I'm
You
cleaning
will.
my
You
room.
will. So
you know
so
what I
for
mean?
me,
I'm doing a lot
that's
of
why I
stuff.
buy the manga books.
Don't-
Because then
don't
I
get
can
me
focus
wrong.
into that. Because then I get drawn in with the artwork. Anime for me, sometimes the voices piss me the fuck off.
You want to know? You
They're
want to know?
so high pitched and annoying, some of
Yeah,
them,
well.
where like it drives me nuts. So then that's why, like, if you guys see the group chat, I've been buying a lot of manga ambience books.
Yeah.
Because then I'm like, okay, like
Stay out
Seven
of
Deadly
fucking
Sins.
Barnes and Nobles first
Bro,
and foremost.
first of
bro.
all, the hammer pops up
Stay
there
out
right
of
here in my
Barnes and
section.
Nobles. He's keeping them alive single-handedly,
Yeah,
ladies and gentlemen.
yeah.
All right.
You know, but I think like the show Ragnarok. It's an anime show we were talking about earlier before. I think you would like that because it's gory, it's dark, it gives you a totally different twist on all Greek mythology and all mythology within itself. And
Shouts
I
out to
just,
Sue
I
Blackie.
just feel like that's just like in your realm. And I think the first scene with the guy with the statues holding the girl's big tits will sell you perfectly.
So what is helping me out with diving down, like with just like appetizing the idea of diving down into anime is what me and the Merc has done with the Morphin Cast. You know what I mean? Like we already went through all the Power Rangers. You know what I mean? And what Western civilization out here doesn't realize is that all the footage of Rangers comes from Japan. It's called Super Sentai. You know what I mean? And what I have been gathering as time has been going on is that Japan and all those countries over there are so much more adulty than it is over here. Like they dumb it down for us over here because they think that we can't handle shit. But Super Sentai is the things that make me want to dive down into things a little bit more. You know what I mean?
That is
The
exactly
manga,
what-
you know what I mean? All the things that you're into because I see your passion. Like Straw Hat, I've never met a single person on this planet that makes me want to actually watch anime besides this guy right here.
Yeah.
There's not a single person, like anybody in this world ever even said that shit. I'm like, yo, fuck you, bro. I don't want to watch that. I don't watch cartoons. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like his passion, his TikTok, his this, his that. You know what I mean? Like the way he orchestrates himself, like I can already tell. Like he's got me buying him figures. You know what I mean? And it makes me want to know who Son Goku is. Like I know who Goku is.
The goat. The goat right there.
Who the fuck is Son Goku? But Son Goku? Like, it makes me...
It's deeper than that, bro.
It doesn't matter.
The thing
It
is...
says Son Goku.
Well,
Yeah,
because Japanese is
Okay, but
I don't think about it. It's like
remember Turtles 3? It was Son Raphael, Son Michelangelo.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's like...
It's that.
Well, you think about it, like in Europe, Lord Farquaad. You know what I'm saying? Like that's pretty much what that is.
Yeah.
But it does sound badass because it's like Son Goku, and then when you hear their deep Chinese voice, like saying that, just like with that accent,
Goku did not. I was about to say Goku does not have a.
But it took us watching Super Sentai for me to even like accent that.
I would say the 03 series. I think the 03 series.
Which one? Oh, 03?
The TMNT Turtles 03 series.
Which has been the
I think
highlight of
that
today's
one
cast,
has been the one animation that he's been like.
Really?
I don't rewind a single episode. It's fucking dope, bro.
Yeah.
Because
it's so good.
It has a good consistency with story.
So
it's very consistent with story. The voice acting is great. The action is pretty solid.
There's continuous stories where there's 5 episodes in a row instead of one.
And they finished out their stories, and I think that's one thing like that. If I have a Turtle series for you to check out and watch, it'll be the ultimate.
Now I want to bring up a show. I'm not sure if everybody watched. I brought it up before. It's the Superman Lois show.
Oh man!
Has anybody started watching that yet?
I still haven't watched it.
You did?
Give me the Baraka. Give me the Baraka.
All right, man.
Right now.
Because
shouts out to my brother and shouts out to me because I like. Everybody knows here I am the biggest hater of fucking Superman possible. I am the biggest hater of Superman possible, regardless of what anybody at this table has to say.
I have proof.
He hates him like everybody hated Resident
I just binge watched literally in 1 week the first two seasons of Superman and Lois, and I will tell you right now, by far, it's one of the greatest Superman fucking stories that I've ever watched cinematically.
Wait until you watch the rest of it.
I just finished last night going to work the season finale of the second season, and my brother just finished it when the Merc Wit The Mic walked in the house today.
Oh, get out of here, really?
He walked in the house for the last fucking episode.
Are you on
and he's
point?
never seen it.
You haven't watched it yet?
He's never seen it.
Oh, we can't even talk about it.
And if my brother...
You too? You didn't see it?
And if my brother sits there and tells him, now my brother is the biggest hater of nostalgia, the biggest hater, and I love my brother.
That's all I need to know.
And my brother's like, this shit is phenomenal, bro.
It's probably the best interpretations of Superman.
So
because it's a good 50-50.
It brings the family-oriented.
Family-oriented, yes, and it's 50-50 because he can lose his cool for a little bit. But he never loses the hope. He never loses the love and passion of helping the
I say homework assignment. We make them watch.
Oh,
so I actually like. I know the Superman. I watched the Infinity Crisis and things like that, so I know him as Superman.
That's when I stopped watching.
I got burnt out through the Hourverse period.
They burnt a lot of people out.
Hour and Flash
so for me to go into that show, I couldn't get into it.
And that's why.
But I hear nothing but amazing things.
That's why they almost lost it.
Yeah.
Because Arrowverse really just drained the life out of you. Like that could have been sold up very quick. They dragged it out and brought it, and then they made it confusing.
Yeah.
After Alchemist happened, it should have just fucking ended.
Dude,
as soon as Alchemist happened, it should have ended because it was fucking phenomenal. Once they integrated like his son into it in the 6th season, that's when I stopped watching. Same thing with the Flash. Now, the Flash is still part of the same universe, and like I'm so in tune.
I didn't watch the last season yet.
So now I refuse to watch the Flash after Crisis of Infinite Earths because once everything fucking changed. It just turned really corny.
Once I got Brendan Roth as Superman Earth 1, I was like, yeah, I don't need to watch anymore.
But no, because that's all I wanted.
But it's been like a good 3 years since I've been in that universe.
Yeah.
I just dove down into Superman and Lois because me and you were talking, and then I see things on like Doomsday popping up.
Because I think HBO owns that now because CW
HBO Max.
dropped the ball on that.
Yeah, HBO Max.
They were stupid. I'm like, that was your one working show besides the Flash. Well, let's be real. I think Arrow kind of saved the day for a while. I thought Arrow could have ended a little bit earlier.
Have you seen
but I think Arrow was phenomenal.
Once Stephen Amell died, they should have just left it there.
Have you ever seen
100%.
any of the
I
Flash
agree.
show?
Because then they just kind of forced it.
But I want to watch it.
You should. You would like it, man.
It makes
up for it.
So the thing is, I'm not a hater. I enjoy Superman. I don't mind Superman.
Listen,
like that. I don't have hatred for it.
Is besides Man of Steel and besides Keanu Reeves, this is the best cinematography Superman that I've ever seen. And just in 2 seasons.
Keanu Reeves didn't play Superman.
No, not Keanu.
I was like sitting there, I'm like, wait a minute.
Christopher Reeves. I've been dlinking.
I was like, I'm going through my mind right now. I'm like, wait a minute.
Christopher Reeves. That's
I had a picture in my head. I'm like,
they are related. All right, they are related. So
was he in the multiverse?
Nicolas Cage.
Has everybody seen Batman, the Flash movie?
I've seen it.
Yeah, but the newest Flash movie, right?
Yeah, it was good.
Okay.
It was good. It's just a shame it's not going to go anywhere now. But
I think maybe they should have had Superman and Lois maybe be a little scene in there. They didn't do that.
To be fair,
they didn't do that.
The movie was good. I'm just very upset that I'll never get to see the Reverse Flash on the big screen.
Maybe.
Like the real.
I want to see the
yellow suit.
That was overly dramatic young man fucking Flash.
You know,
that almost, to be honest with you, everything was good. That almost ruined it for me. I did not like that version.
I don't like the way he looked.
I like
the Reverse Flash in the Flash. The Flash TV show?
Yeah. Well, even I want the cartoon.
What was his name? Well, yeah, probably.
Yeah, fucking
phenomenal, bro.
Yeah.
Reverse Flash.
I know that dude from Scrubs.
I feel like that's where...
I've never seen Scrubs before.
He was his brother in Scrubs. Yeah.
I feel like that's where they dropped
JD, the main character's brother.
Okay, I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, so that's where I was... That's the... Besides the Flash character in real life, it's a piece of crap. Other than that, I feel like that's the only thing they missed out. I think they really should use the Reverse Flash for this.
See, like with that movie, and we were actually having a conversation before we came here today. Like my brother and the Merc, you know what I mean? We're having a conversation while I was in the shower, and I actually heard their whole conversation. They were actually really going in and having a very intellectual, geeky conversation, like talking over each other, might I add. But that's neither here or there because you know. But what could have happened is, if you remember in the Flash show, he showed up in the Flash show, and they had a scene in a moment.
Yeah.
That could have been the changeover.
Yeah.
Thank you.
That integrated him as Flash
Fans
into it.
all
But my
over the
brother
place said
hates
that
that
too.
Flash, though he never seen the show. He just doesn't like the suit of it.
I don't mind the suit. I hate his build. And I hate
No, he is Barry Allen, bro.
No,
He is
he's
fucking
Barry
Barry
Allen
bro.
had
He
more-
is so Barry
No,
Allen.
he's not.
He's a good
Because
Barry
Barry
He's
Allen,
a good Barry
No,
Allen.
he
bro.
wasn't that.
And the fact that they brought the original fucking Flash from the original show
I
as
was
his
happy.
fucking dad.
Jake
that
Garrett.
was amazing. Jay
Yeah.
Garrett needed to be in there. You can't have, because he was the original first Flash, you needed to pay homage.
Yeah.
Because let's be real, every Hulk movie that tried to come out or did come out always had Lou Ferrigno in their movie. You have to pay homage to the original guy. That's why I do like that they brought in the Michael Keaton Batman, because you needed to do that down the road one way or another.
And we
Fuck
both.
George Clooney.
No, bro, I love the George Clooney ending.
I know. Fuck
I
him.
love it.
No, if I
My brother said it the best. My brother said it the
best.
best. He's like, nobody's gonna go back to the Shoemaker, fucking Schumacher universe. So you're done. You're dead,
You're
bro.
dead.
It's the perfect way to end it.
I hate him.
The
I
Batnips.
can't stand
The Batnips.
I fucking love
You know,
it.
one thing I always found funny about the Flash movie was the fact that Gotham was clean.
because he
Yeah,
had
it's great.
enough. He
No,
killed
he
just
just Batman
did
killed him.
everything. He
Ben
became an
Affleck
old
was
man.
not
He's
fucking playing. No, Michael Keaton.
Mike came back and killed people.
Yeah.
You tell me this.
From the original to now.
He threw someone's head into a bell and let him fall.
No, they didn't
So
survive
I
that.
know both of you two did not watch in the theaters. I know that me and Straw Hat did watch it.
I watched the bootleg.
You watched it in a yeah.
Yeah,
I was
He
probably
watching a
watching it.
bootleg at work, and I'm just
I
looking at him,
watched
shaking my head.
I was not cool.
Listen,
So I'm just as
I
bad as
understand
him.
not supporting the character who the person, the actor who played the Flash.
I'm not supporting WB.
But that
for
show
supporting
made
him
me, that
either.
movie made me forget about all the bullshit that he did because it was a really good.
But I 100% think that if they would have replaced him, no one would have batted eye.
If Barry Allen,
No, nobody
From
was.
I don't think it was
fucking
that. I
show
don't think it was that
continued
good.
it,
I don't
it
think
would've
he was a
been
great
fucking
actor.
You know what's crazy? Actually, I don't know if I mentioned this the
Or
last
introduce
podcast,
what? I'm sorry.
but what Tommy just said there, I was in North Carolina for a family vacation, and
you were watching movies.
Yeah, there was an AMC right down the road where we were staying,
Which is dope to me.
And it was the day the opening premiere for The Flash. I told them, I was like, I don't care what you guys do. I was like, I'm seeing this movie. If you want to see it with me, come on. And then they see it. So some of them came with me to see it, and we stopped at a Wendy's before we were going. And some crap, bro. And then like
Chicken nuggets.
like the guy, a little bit. The guy like working there. You know, it looked like he was having a bad day. But then once I came in, we were all talking. Like he started talking because I was wearing a Batman shirt actually, and then we started talking more. And then he heard me explaining to like my other family members because they're periodically they'll watch like some movies here and there maybe.
Yeah,
But
so
then,
you gotta,
but
like,
then,
sum it
like,
up for
I
us.
was like explaining like a lot to it because like I did my research for it before I went in and
So you
watched all the
just told
stuff.
them.
And then the guy overheard and he came over and he's like, "Oh, so you're seeing The Flash?" And I was like, "Yeah." And he just went on and talking about it, and he was like, "So how do you feel like what should happen with this Flash?" And I even said to him, I was like, "I think they since in this movie he's breaking the multiverse." The Flash from
Flashpoint.
the Flash from
Let's not say multiverse. Let's say Flashpoint.
Yeah,
That's
like-
what Flash does.
Yes, but I'm saying is like I said they should have the Flash from the series, Grant Gustin,
Because they
come
already
in and like meet up with this Barry Allen, Ezra Miller, and then they switch places, and this is the Flash or DCU.
Yes.
I said
Or you know how he dies in like Crisis, right? The Flash, like Barry Allen, like he vanishes. He could have edited him doing something like that and then introducing Wally West.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And had
Because
the,
Wally
and had
West
the
is
actor from the show because he actually
Yeah.
was a very good
Because
Wally West.
Wally West is technically the fastest and the greatest speedster to ever do it.
I like
So
Wally.
that would be a
Arguably,
great
arguably.
passing of the torch.
Jeff Johns
And
writing
you think?
on
Yeah.
that. That's probably my favorite.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. Absolutely. So you think of passing of the torch, get rid of the dirtbag. You don't have to worry about another replacement of the Flash, and you could jumpstart this new universe that what's his name is now doing.
James
And you
Gunn.
could have had a whole thing. Because let's be real,
could have had a
we
Batman.
need, like I said, we need. I really wish we could have a reverse Flash on the big screen, but I think we really need a Wally West now.
I
And
feel
on
like
as the
I
Flash
feel like
taking over.
I feel like James Gunn didn't want to even include that movie. He was like, "Yeah, that's tainted. I'm not."
It was so tainted.
There was too much going on at the time.
And then-
like the whole mess up with the whole Snyderverse with like the first movie and like stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like we did. I'm not gonna lie. We did have to cut ties. But to automatically just jump into like, hey, we're revamping everything. Like, no, let it settle. We don't need Batman for a little. If I see another fucking Pearl break,
I know, I say
I'm
it all the
gonna
time.
flip the fuck out. I'm gonna flip this table while everything is on it. You know
Now,
what I
do
mean?
you think because of the backlash of Flash, do you think now the Blue Beetle movie is going to get crapped on? Because
So-
I'm really excited for that
I am not
movie.
excited for that movie at all.
My issues with the
But
Blue.
do you know the character?
No, I am not a fan of Blue Beetle. I dove down a little bit into it, but I just feel like over the height of
52.
Cobra Kai, the character in Cobra Kai, and throwing him as Blue Beetle is just like product placement.
I don't know because
You know what I mean?
the
It's
new
just like,
52,
hey, let's get people to go
He
see
kind
this
of
movie.
fits the character. though.
Thank
If
you.
you
Because
actually
the
read
new
the comics,
52
he
role
actually-
in him, it's fucking
He fits.
perfect.
He fits the
It
character.
fits so good. If you guys didn't dive in to the new 52 Blue Beetle series,
I haven't.
you have
Yeah.
to.
I did.
It's a phenomenal
You know
series.
damn well I own a majority
I own.
of.
You
and
saw
he
the
was-
collection. I own the whole entire
Yeah,
series.
and he was a
until
great
they cut it
character in
off.
Batman Brave and the Bold.
Yeah,
Yeah.
dude, he carried the team.
Will Friedle talked to him.
Yes.
Feeny.
Yeah. Because
He talked Blue Beetle in the cartoon.
I hope they didn't take that movie because I'm really excited for that.
So Blue Beetle is supposed to be the start point of
Everything starting up,
James
right?
Gunn's DC.
Yeah.
So
I
he
actually
has
thought it
support.
was still in that universe.
No, he has the star point.
I thought it was.
The big thing about it is WB is not backing it up the way they should. They haven't had much commercials.
Really?
They haven't had much.
They've only had 2 trailers.
CW,
One came out like
WB
last week.
in general.
CW is
Actually,
is the
CW is the channel.
CW.
But CW
is
doesn't-
a hierarchy.
no.
We watched Swamp Thing on the fucking app before we went to
It's
CW.
Warner Brothers is the main thing.
Warner Brothers
CW is a channel on that
Yeah.
side.
Yes, but it's not the Warner Brothers channels anymore.
It's
CW.
Warner Brothers. Warner Brothers
but
owns
they
the
own
property.
You don't
We're
understand.
saying the same thing.
No, you're not.
Warner Brothers owns it. CW is the.
It's a channel.
It's a channel.
That's it. It's nothing more than that.
Yeah.
But those. All right.
No, it's
I'll leave it be at that because I can go off, but that's needed.
You're gonna go off on something that you're wrong.
And I also and I'm humble myself. I don't know much about Blue Beetle to argue the fact of him being a good character.
And I think-
I am just more.
Yeah.
I am just more of the hey, this kid is popular because of Cobra Kai,
Yeah.
and now he's
No,
the
well,
character.
think
of
about
Blue
it
Beetle.
this way. He could be the Miles Morales for their universe.
You can.
He's what? Now this is the second Hispanic hero now to be in the movie theater. You could run with that in this day and age. Okay, because I'm not being that
It's
guy,
a-
but
it's
there's
a
not enough of
Marvel-
them.
it's a
There's not
Marvel
enough,
movie.
but it's original.
It's
You know what I'm saying?
Marvel
They didn't
movie,
force
yeah.
anything. This is an original, great story.
Yeah.
I think the actor is going to be great on it, and it's like another passing baton of a different major hero. So I think he'll be the Miles Morales for this if they don't drop the ball in the movie. Because I think it's good, and he's a young kid. He's going through it.
Yeah.
He has to learn the mechanics. The mechanics is a serious warrior. You know what I'm saying? So I think that would be really, really good.
I think it's going to be like it's going to be like a good but mediocre movie. Like it's just going to be like he said, the start point. Like it's just like
it's going to be like Morbius.
Morbius was not a star or an end. It was a turd. It went straight to the toilet.
Listen,
No toilet paper.
Say what you gotta say, and we're gonna do the rollout after
You know
that.
what?
After that man said Morbius, we're just gonna have to cut this
Yeah,
shit.
we might as well just end it now.
Oh, come on!
We're just gonna have to.
Oh.
You know what I mean? Listen, regardless, at the end of the day, I appreciate every single one of you guys for coming together and putting together our thoughts and our opinions, whether it's right, wrong, or whatever it is. You know what I mean? It's the conversation, it's the passion, and the will that we do that I truly appreciate. You know what I mean? And I thank every single one of you guys for being at this table today. You know what I mean? I think the Merc with the mic over here. Happy motherfucking birthday, bro!
Thank you.
Straight up and fucking wet, man.
I appreciate it.
The man came out from Manhattan to Long Island.
That's
You know
right,
what I mean?
Long
Long
Island.
Island. And right now we're gonna start our rollout. So Merc with the mic, please do the Red Cyclone and
Alright, yes, follow me on Instagram, Tumblr, Twitter, YouTube, SoundCloud, and Twitch, all Merc with the Mic. I do have a TikTok called Merc with the Mic as well. I post a lot of photography and things like that, so definitely check that out. And Threads, I guess, is a new thing. I'm sad to have it, but it's there. Follow it.
You got to educate me on that later.
It's
Write it down for me.
Instagram,
We won't do that
Twitter.
at 9, but yeah.
Yeah, sure.
Alright, so I'm Straw Hat Ty, and I don't really got much to roll out and say, just that, I'm happy Merc came out, because we don't ever get to see this guy.
Well, you got something
absolutely.
growing up in the works right now?
Yeah, so for an announcement, I am doing a official Twitch and TikTok live stream in October, either 20th, 21st, for the new Marvel Spider-Man 2 game. I've been posting it a little bit. I've already gained, in the first day, I set up my whole Twitch for it. I gained 3 followers, and I was like, all right, that's not that bad.
No, it's not
And
bad,
then,
actually.
But yeah, I'm gonna start once that happens. I'm gonna start streaming casually, getting bigger into streaming. And
Good for you,
Yeah.
You
bro.
flood my news feed like a motherfucker.
So-
That's how you got to do it,
So
though.
one of the days that you start, let's do a joint and we can have a conversation. while playing
Absolutely. I'm totally down
The
for
thing
that.
is, I had to put a date. I can't put a specific date or time yet because
Okay.
the difference is with the pre-orders, like I pre-ordered the collector's edition, so the thing is they don't give you and there's no digital game disc. Which
It's code.
Yeah, so they give you a code, but the thing is they don't put it on your PlayStation. You have to wait till the box is at your house. Like if you pre-order like the regular or the deluxe edition on PS5, it gives you the code right away and you can download it like a day before.
Oh,
But
okay.
so I can't put official like date on it yet until it ships, but that's in October, so it got a couple months away. But I'm just
Yeah,
trying to
keep
build
us
up.
posted.
Yeah,
Keep
yeah.
on flooding that, man, because I would definitely join that. Absolutely.
Yeah,
Absolutely. For me, the Sriracha, I don't really have too many shout-outs. I just hope everybody's having a great weekend. I hope everybody's trying to stay cool in this humidity out there. And that's really it. If you're going to drink, don't drive. Be
Come
responsible.
down to J. Paul Fitness,
Come down to J. Paul
BP
Fitness.
Wellness,
First
everything.
session's on the house, and Sriracha is out.
Yo, always a shout out to Game On, retro video game store based on Long Island, 3 separate locations, one in Smithtown, one in Patchogue, one in Miller Place, satisfying all your retro video game needs. Also, please, anybody who lives on Long Island, please go to Smith Haven Mall and go and check out the Game On Retro Video Game Arcade. I think we've all been there before, and I think we all rock the fuck out. It's a good time. Always remember, it is easier to be good and nice than it is to be an asshole. Please reach out to your family members. Tell them that you love them. You never know how much time we have here on this earth. You know what I mean? I am Tatskawap. This is
Sriracha.
This is
Straw Hat Tie.
he is
Merc Wit The Mic.
and this is the Popcornie Podcast, and we are out.